strong body, unique horn, undefeated personality, the scariest on the jungle. Moose. Hello and welcome to Z. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. The fearless moose. The moose in North America, or elk in Eurasia, Alces alces, is the largest and heaviest extant species in the deer family and a member of the New World deer subfamily. Most adult male moose have palmate, open-hand-shaped antlers, whereas most other members of the deer family have dendritic, twig-like antlers. Moose are found in boreal forests, temperate broadleaf and mixed forests, and temperate to subarctic regions throughout the northern hemisphere. Hunting and other human activities have caused the moose's range to shrink over time. Some of its original habitats have been reintroduced. Currently, the majority of moose are found in Canada, Alaska, New England, with Maine having the most of the lower 48 states, New York, Fennoscandia, the Baltic states, Poland, Kazakhstan, and Russia. It feeds on both terrestrial and aquatic vegetation. Wolves, bears, humans, and, rarely, wolverines are moose predators. Moose, unlike most other deer species, do not form herds and are solitary creatures, with the exception of calves, which remain with their mother until the cow begins estrus, usually 18 months after the calf's birth, at which point the cow chases them away. Although moose are normally slow and inactive, they can turn hostile and move swiftly if provoked or startled. During their mating season in the autumn, males compete for females in frantic bouts. Moose are found in northern North America and Eurasia. There are 4 subspecies of moose in North America: the eastern moose, Alces alces americana, which lives in eastern Canada and the northeastern United States; the northwestern moose, Alces alces andersoni, which lives in central Canada and North Dakota, Minnesota, and northern Michigan; the Shiras moose, Alces alces shirasi, which lives in the Rocky Mountains of the United States and Canada; and the Alaskan moose. Some classifications acknowledge many Eurasian subspecies, including the European moose, Alces alces, the Siberian, or Yakut, moose, A. Alces pheasantmayeri, the West Siberian, or Ashuri, moose, A. Alces cameloides, and the East Siberian, or Kolyma, moose, A. Alces cameloides, A. Alces butylini. Aside from differences in geographical distribution, moose subspecies are identified by characteristics such as size, pelage, and antler characteristics. Regional variances in body size appear to indicate adaptation to local environment. The largest moose specimens can be found in Alaska and eastern Siberia, where bulls can weigh up to 600 kilograms, 1,300 pounds, and stand 2 meters, 7 feet, tall at the shoulder. The smallest moose populations are found in Wyoming and Manchuria, where huge bulls reach 300 to 350 kilograms, 660 to 770 pounds. Moose are fearless creatures which can easily defend themselves against large carnivores. Grizzly and black bears attack moose cows during calving season. When the snow is deep and the moose cannot flee, they defend themselves against wolf groups in late winter. For maneuverability, they like hard, level ground with little snow, such as ridges blasted free of snow or frozen lakes with a thin blanket of snow. When they are hampered by deep snow, they retreat into dense conifers to shield their vulnerable inguinal region and lower haunches from wolf attacks. They may then charge the wolves and attack them with their front legs slapping them and their rear legs kicking them. These blows have the potential to kill wolves. Humans have been killed by moose. In Siberia, muzzle-loading gun hunters feared injured moose significantly more than they feared the enormous brown bear. An attacking moose could not be easily stopped by a small, round rifle ball of soft lead due to its thick skin on its head and neck and its dense skull. Habits. Moose can withstand cold well but suffer from heat. Moose frequently cool off in water for several hours each day during the summer, especially during fly season. In reality, moose are perfectly at home in water. They will sometimes dive 5.5 meters or more for plants growing on the bottom of a lake or pond. Moose have been observed swimming 19 kilometers. Only the caribou is a better swimmer than any other North American deer. Even though it is very young, a moose calf can accompany its mother on a lengthy swim, occasionally resting its muzzle on the cow's back for support. Characteristics that are unique. The moose's eyesight is poor, but its senses of smell and hearing compensate. Moose can traverse practically any terrain because to their immense physical strength and vitality. Long legs allow them to quickly traverse deadfall trees or snow that might halt a deer or wolf. When they wade in soft muskeg or snow, their cloven hooves and dewclaws spread widely to give stability. When scared, they may crash through the underbrush, yet despite their enormous size, full-grown antlered bulls can move almost as quietly as a cat through the woodland. A moose normally walks upwind for a while before laying down, then swings back in a partial circle. As a result, predators following its trail will have to approach from the windward side. Skilled hunters know when to quit the track and work their way upwind to their quarry's hiding location. Feeding. In the summer, the moose's diet consists primarily of leaves, some upland plants, and water plants. A large adult moose consumes 15 to 20 kilograms of twigs per day in the winter and 25 to 30 kilograms of forage, twigs, leaves, bushes, upland plants, and water plants in the summer. They also drop their heads beneath the water's surface to nibble on lilies and other aquatic plants. Moose congregate around salt licks in June and July, which are typically low-lying areas of stagnant, mineral-rich water. They appear to require the supplemental nutrients that the salt licks give during that season when they graze intensely on leaves and other lush plant growth. Moose migrate to willow-rich valleys or other regions with high feed near forest cover. Moose survive nearly entirely on twigs and bushes such as balsam fir, poplar, red osier dogwood, birch, willow, and red and striped maples in the winter. Winter is a time of year when moose get hungry. To conserve energy, they decrease their dietary intake and physical activity. When food is sparse, as it often is in the spring, moose may peel bark from trees, particularly poplars. Prior to civilization, moose relied on new forest regrowth in the aftermath of forest fires for vast amounts of woody twigs. Now that the wildfire has been well contained, the moose's primary food source is often regrowth from clear-cut forestry. Where predation and hunting are scarce, moose populations may rise to the point where food is scarce. Many animals starve in these conditions, and all are emaciated and more prone to be killed by predators or disease. Wells Gray Provincial Park in British Columbia has observed concentrations of up to 135 animals per 10 square kilometers. Deer, elk, bunnies, and even beaver fight for food with the moose. 8 moose facts you might not know. 1. Moose are enormous. You undoubtedly knew they were large, but I mean really large. The typical female weighs 771 pounds, 350 kilograms, whereas the average guy weighs 881 pounds, 400 kilograms. They can weigh up to 1,800 pounds. Their typical length ranges from just under 8 foot to just under 10, 2.4 m to 3.2 m. The antlers of a bull moose can spread up to 6 feet from end to end. 2. Each year, bull moose shed their antlers. After a year, a male moose acquires antlers that grow in height and weight each year. Then a yearly cycle begins, in which bull moose antlers begin to grow in the spring and continue to grow until September, when the velvet that covers the antlers dries and falls off. Moose frequently rub their antlers against trees, which aids in the removal of the velvet. 3. Calves grow swiftly and can outpace a person by the age of 5 days. During its first year of life, a baby moose, called a calf, grows at an astonishing rate. Calves are born in the spring, gain 1 to 2 pounds per day, and eventually gain 5 pounds per day. Fourth, in the Algonquin language, moose means twig eater. Moose are herbivores, yes. To fill up, they must eat all day. The name moose comes from the Algonquin word maws or mons, which means twig eater depending on dialect. They consume any type of vegetation and require over 10,000 calories per day. Moose, like cows, have 4-chambered stomachs. 5 moose are excellent swimmers. A moose can dive 20 feet and stay submerged for up to 30 seconds. They can also swim pretty quickly for their size, up to 6 miles per hour. Moose hair is hollow, which allows them to float when swimming or feeding. It also aids in keeping moose warm during the cold. Moose can live for up to 20 years. Many moose, more than half, are killed as calves by predators such as wolves or bears. They can live up to 20 years if they can avoid predators and hunters. In Ontario, moose hunting is strictly regulated and monitored. 7 moose exclusively dwell in areas with snow cover throughout the winter. Moose like colder climates, thus Sunset Country in Ontario is ideal for them. They cannot withstand temperatures beyond 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 C. They'll be in the water attempting to cool off on a hot summer day. Moose are members of the deer family. The largest member of the deer family is the moose. They are also North America's tallest mammals. One more quick fact, a moose's front hooves can kick in any direction. This is all for now. Thank you for being with us.